I don't want you in there being loud in the background. That's why.
Can I come watch?
Not right now, Jace. No. I know, because I muted. I muted on purpose. Hey guys, how is everybody tonight? Aw, thank you, Alicia. I missed you too. I hope that you're feeling okay. Hey, Chihuahua Mom. Hey, Emily. Hey, Cheney. Hey, Sarah. Relaxing sounds good, Happy Mama. Hey, Shelly. Hey, Coez. Good evening. Listen, party time is right. Something different besides what's been going on. Good. I'm glad that you're feeling normal. Good evening, Andy. How are you, friend? I'm feeling all right, Sarah. I've still got this cough that just, like, I'll go into flare-ups off and on throughout the day. But aside from that, I've been feeling better for a little while. Hey, Rebecca. Good evening, Muffy. What's everybody been doing this weekend? Hey, Baked Butterfly. I am too. Shell shock. I am. And I think it's silly because it's not just one side, but that's what everybody seems to think. Like each side's pointing the finger at the other side, but it's both sides. It's everyone. You've got one side saying this, and then you've got another side that's claiming they're victims of bullying while they sit in a live and just bash the other side. It's everybody. It's both sides, and I'm over it. Hey, Crystal. I agree, Happy Mama. Hey, Green Eyes. Yeah, I get it, BJ. I didn't know that you hadn't been going live. Well, I knew that you had not been on as much.
How much was your back? Thumbs on 4.
I guess, but I might need it again in a little while.
Okay, my phone's working.
You choked on air earlier, Happy Mama. That's no good. Oh, that sounds nice. What is a tulip festival, Ann? I've never heard of that. A break is sometimes good and much needed. Hey, Irish. You haven't missed anything, Crystal. I just started. I bet, Stewie. I will say this. I'm going to say it because I just saw her come in here. I have a lot of respect for what I know deep down that Krista was trying to do. I'm sad that it didn't go how she planned, but I also understand and I stand on people's feelings are valid, you know. I saw some things that were said about Villain that have not been put out there publicly, and stuff like that's not okay. But again, that's why I say it's both sides. It's not just one side. But that's all I want to say is I have a lot of respect for what she tried to do, and I'm proud of her for the direction that she's going with her platform. But I don't want to keep talking about it because I'm serious, y'all. I don't want any of that drama over here. I just want to have a fun live. Thank you for the heart me. Yeah, if you guys have not sent your daily heart me's, please send them. Please send your heart me's. You don't have to send anything else, but I do want you to send your heart me's. Ling Ling, thank you for the manifesting. You don't have to do that. I hope you and your daughter are doing okay. We are going to actually have some fun tonight. So, we're not going to bring out the dolls. I've had a lot of people ask me that, and I keep telling you guys, we're not going to do the dolls tonight. Thank you for the tiny tiny, but I do want to open up the boxes, and anybody, Dragonfly, anybody that has ever experienced anything paranormal, if you've ever had any type of paranormal activity experience, a haunted house, a just whatever it may have been. There's so many things that could have happened. I would love it if you would join a box and share your story. Now, I want to make sure that everybody gets the opportunity. So, if the boxes are full and you would like a box, please request a box and I will have somebody drop. I don't want it to just be the same people in the box the whole time if there are other people that want to join, if that makes sense. I want to make sure everybody can share because I want to hear everybody's ghost stories. And then I will also look up some things on my iPad if we get to that point. And we'll see if we can find some pretty cool stuff to check out as far as paranormal experiences online too. That's awesome, Barry. All right, let me accept Crystal.
Hello.
Hi, how are ya?
Hi, babes. I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm excited to have a fun live.
Yay.
This will be a fun one.
Yeah. My husband passed 2 months ago,
Uh-huh.
and we were
I'm so
together for
sorry.
17 years. And I mean, good, bad, ugly, like, he was my best friend. So today I was struggling. And this man, what he likes to do is he'll take my vape and he moves it around the house. Like yesterday, I walked into my kitchen and my kitchen drawer was wide open, knowing that I didn't even get up the night before. So my husband now is playing tricks on me, now letting me know that he's here, but he keeps constantly stealing my vape, my remote, opening my drawers, and this is a brand new place. He's never been here.
That's wild. That's wild. You know, I do want to say, obviously, I'm so incredibly sorry for your loss. So thank you, Villain, for the money gun. I'm so sorry
Hi,
that
Villain.
you lost your husband, but
Thank you,
that
Villain.
is definitely him there with you. It has to be. That's
Yeah.
wild. Do you
Yeah.
feel
Villain.
scared or anything, or does it just kind of feel, I don't want to say normal, but you're just like good. It's like, but you're just like good. It's like, you know what? It is what it is.
I'm not scared. Because where I'm at now, it's a brand new duplex, and he was down in Ohio. He was in a nursing home, and he had like congestive heart failure, so he had a bunch of medical problems and stuff. And I got a warning that he was going to pass the day before, and the day that he passed, it was just like 2 days before that. We had been healing. I was healing from him with him, kind of thing.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, that Saturday comes after I just said, like, I feel like God's going to remove all the toxic people out of my life this year. And then Saturday, February 18th passes after we talked at 3:30 in the morning. And I just made sure that he knew that I loved him. So it's like, I'm not scared now because I know it's him. I miss him a lot. I really want him back.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I believe that though, when we lose someone, especially someone that is that close with us, especially when if we live under the same roof with them, they never fully leave us. You know what I mean? I will say, several years ago, my mother-in-law was living with her boyfriend at the time, and she had found him passed away one morning. She was trying to wake him up for work, hanging together. She had a couple of friends over there one night with her, so she wasn't alone. And they said that a spatula went flying from one end of the kitchen to the other. And I mean, stuff like that, that's not random. Stuff like that doesn't happen. Sorry, but your cooking utensils don't just go flying across the room. So I believe that that was probably him, which I have a few stories to share. But I'm glad that I know it's hard and I know you miss him, but I'm glad that you do have that reassurance in a way that he is there with you, and I hope that it helps. I just couldn't imagine.
Yeah, it's bringing some comfort. Like, I'm just now sitting down eating. I haven't eaten all day. So, like, I'm literally fighting my head and my heart. Because it's like, I ask him, like, look, you gotta come tell me what to do, because I don't know what to do. Like, I can't even breathe right now. And then thinking about living the rest of my life with him, that's just not gonna work for me.
Yeah. Well, you have to take care of yourself. You have to
My
make sure that
deepest
you are.
condolences.
Yeah, you have to take care of yourself. You have to think about it like, he would not want you to stop prioritizing yourself. But at the same time, I feel hypocritical saying that because when I lost my dad, I and when I lost my granddad, I did not eat the way that I should. I would have to force food because I guess it was kind of like the broken feeling, but also a numbness, so to speak. And I just didn't feel hunger pains. I didn't feel anything, but just blah. It was very difficult. So I couldn't even imagine it being my husband. I feel like those feelings would be 100 times more intense. So please take care of yourself because
I'm trying. I mean, I really am. I'm trying to just as like I said, like I said, I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do from here? Like, you left me. Where do you want me to go? Like, what do you want me to do?
well, if you ever need someone to talk to,
One day
I
at a
just
time,
checked.
love.
I just checked and I am following you and you are following me and my inbox is always open. So even if you just don't even not even to talk about anything like that, if you just want someone just to talk to, just to occupy yourself, please don't hesitate to reach out to me.
Thank you. I'll drop down so other people can talk. I don't want to keep taking up your box, but yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, of course.
Have a
Thank you
great
for
night,
sharing your
Crystals.
story.
You too.
Your
Crystals.
story.
You too.
Thank you.
Well, most
Everybody,
people. Oh, go ahead.
if everybody could send Crystal some prayers and positive vibes in the chat, I would really. And I know that there's like no words to say that will make it feel better, and I know that. So I catch myself stumbling over my words because I want to make it okay. I want to make it better, but I know that I can't. But I know that my heart hurts for her
Yes.
Yeah, it's very
a
sad.
lot.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'll
Um,
say my stuff real quick, Raggedy, and then I'll drop down.
You don't have to drop down. I just want to make sure, like I said, if somebody requests and the boxes are full, at that point I am going to have to drop someone.
Okay. Well, most people know that I lost my twin brother when we were 17. So that's where my first experience started to happen. I would get touched all the time, and I always knew it was him because I could feel that presence. And you have that twin bond anyways.
Right.
So that's where it really started for me. And then me and my husband really got into the paranormal, watching all the shows, getting all the things. And so we have investigated the Whaley House, which is here in San Diego. It's considered one of the most haunted houses in the United States. So when we investigated that one, we had gone into the dining room and the floor began to vibrate. And there were only two women. That's important. There were only two women in this group that we were in. So the floor started to vibrate, and living in Southern California, like I went straight to earthquake. Like, so I started looking around, and there was one other woman in the group that was on the opposite side of the room as me, and she just turned white as a ghost, like literally. And she's looking behind her. There's nobody behind her. So I'm feeling the floor vibrate. She got touched.
I don't know.
But I turned to my husband right away. I'm like, "Do you feel that?" And he just thought I was crazy. So the lady that was guiding us through the house, at the end of her talking about this room, it was a dining room, tells us that for whatever reason, only women have experiences in that room. So that was super interesting because both of us experienced something and it was totally different. Um, there wasn't as much activity with that house as I expected. That was like really the only thing that had happened. We also investigated the Queen Mary, and that one was a bit more of an intense investigation. Um, one of the one of the first things we did was the Estes method. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, where you have someone that puts on the noise canceling headphones and it's connected to the spirits box, and then you have the other person on the outside asking the questions.
Yes. And so I was the one that was blindfolded, listening to the spirit box. They were the ones answering, asking the questions. And I will, Diana. I saw your message. And every question that they asked, I gave an answer for. Only one question was off. And I can't hear what questions are asking me. They did actually send me a video recording of it, and I haven't watched it yet. But I'll put it up on my page once I do that so
Yeah,
that you
that would be
guys can
cool.
see it.
That
I'm
would be
sorry?
really cool. I said that would be cool to see that
Yeah,
if you post that.
yeah, I will. I'll post it. Um, and then the SLS, we had an SLS camera, and we saw stuff everywhere. The pool area was very active. We did the Estes method in the ballroom. The pool area was very active. REM pods were constantly going off, and then you could see them with the SLS camera. So that was really cool. And again, I have footage of that as well. So I'll post it all on my page. So for those of you that aren't familiar with ghost hunting equipment, then you'll have a better idea of what I'm talking about. But the Queen Mary was very active, very active. But the Queen Mary was very active, very active. And I always kind of had a theory about the Queen Mary that they just kind of made those stories up just to draw people there and pay for this big, huge ship that's sitting there. Um, and I did stay the night there for 2 nights with my kids. And I did not have an experience when we stayed there, but my mom did. Um, my mom, uh, my mom had somebody whisper in her ear, "Are those boys yours?" Because my two sons were with us, and my mom is a psychic medium, so she has experiences. I'm very empathic, so it's very hard for me. Like I worked in a hospital for almost 30 years, and walking into a place like I could just feel the heaviness of that place, or I will know instantly if something tragic happened there. Um, something tragic happened there. Um, I have to ground myself all the time, because I carry it with me, and it becomes very, very heavy, very, very heavy. Crystal Marie, try scrolling out and coming back in. Sometimes that helps, but it will lag for people in the chat. Um,
Yeah, it's gonna
so
lag, you
that's
guys.
just a quick overview of what I've done. There's a few sanatoriums that are on my bucket list. So hopefully I can do that once I can get past, some of these health issues.
Yeah, once my kids are older and things are different, then I want to start going and doing some things like that, like paranormal investigations and stuff. I think it's really cool. I like to watch other people do it, but I would love to be on the other side doing it myself.
I would
Well,
love
and
to
just look
introduce
in
y'all
your Irish.
to where, yeah, I would love to introduce y'all to where I'm from. I'm from the Civil War era.
Oh wow.
I was raised and grown up around like the battlegrounds of the Civil War. It's followed me. We built a brand new house and still had like lights go off and on. We built our house on a what's the ditch, the war ditch of a foxhole. Like that was my front yard. And so I've had a lot of stuff like follow me. We messed with a Ouija board one time. Lord Jesus, I'd never again. It was I was like 12, my sister was like 6, and we had friends over and we messed with a Ouija board, and my sister had a whole shelf of like troll dolls and they went flying off the shelf.
Dang.
Like no, never again will I mess with a Ouija board. So
Yeah.
then like later on in life, like a couple years ago, my wife took me to a Civil War hospital. They were doing a not a Chris. I'm an October baby, so they were doing a Halloween tour, and we made it like I saw the floor, like there's blood stains from the Civil War still, whatever. But we made it upstairs, and we went into this room, and like it was like cold went through me, like I had goosebumps. It was warm. I had goosebumps, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. Like y'all come over here to the Civil War.
Oh, I'd love to.
I would love
I
to
would set
too.
y'all up on all kinds of tours.
You know, it's there. The way that you mentioned, like I think you said warm sensation that came over you. Let me tell you guys. So most of you know that I have a collection of dolls, and a lot of them I bought from
No, fuck that shit. Nope, no
Well, I
ma'am.
bought them
No
from
ma'am.
paranormal investigators that claimed they were haunted. Well, the very first one that I got, the first two I got were mini porcelain dolls. And when I got my first one, which was Peyton, she's mini with blonde hair and blue eyes, I will never forget the first night that I had her. I went to lay down in my bed, and whenever I lay down in my bed, stop, Ringo. When I lay down in my bed, all of a sudden, it was like nothing I had ever felt. It was this really warm, fuzzy, like I'm talking about. It was intense to the point that I jumped up out of my bed. I did not know what to think. It was wild. And I don't know. It's been some crazy stuff that's happened.
Can
But
I talk on Ouija boards real quick too? What Irish brought that up.
really quick, and then I want to make sure Elisa gets a chance to tell her story because she's been waiting
Yeah.
patiently.
Yes. If anybody uses a Ouija board, you have to make sure that you close it out. Closing it out is
Close it
where
correctly.
people tend to have the problem, where they can get attachments or things follow them. So, don't just play with it as a game or as a joke. It is a tool. You can open portals, and you do need to make sure that you close them out.
Yes, we screwed up. We screwed up big time. Like the downstairs lights after that would flash on and off. Brand new house, brand new built house. Sorry, it was on a Civil War battleground. Like we had foxholes in our front yard. We screwed up. We did not have any business playing with a freaking Ouija board. Do not do it.
Yeah, I say so. My husband is a big no with Ouija boards, and I mean I have a pendulum board, but there's a little bit of a difference there. But he is big no, and I understand why. I told the story the other night about our experience with a Ouija board, and I'll tell that again later. But I will say it's not just Ouija boards where it's important that you I will say it's not just Ouija boards where it's important that you open and close correctly. Anytime you're using any type of paranormal investigative tool to communicate with the other side, you need to make sure that you are closing it out. every time Bobby Joe goes to the cemetery and uses these different apps on her phone to communicate or to try and communicate, even though it's just in good fun, I always tell her when she's done, make sure you say goodbye.
Yes.
You cannot go with me. I'm going to walk away now because I'm telling you, people are skeptical, but stuff like that does happen. So, anytime you got, yes, Vixen, it doesn't matter if it's a Ouija board, if it's a spirit box, if it's a pendulum board, if you're using an app on your phone like Necrophonic, I don't care what it is. Make sure you close it out. Make sure you tell them goodbye. Make sure you tell them you're not going with me. Just close it out. Do not leave that open. Be careful. And
Absolutely. My ex was a Wiccan, and she made the mistake one day of not closing the four corners, and she ended up flooding her house. Like
Oh my God.
you've got to close it out. You've got to end what you're beginning.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Always.
All right, Irish. I'm not Irish. Alicia, would you like to share your story with us? And Irish, you don't have to drop. Like, nobody has to drop when you're done. The only thing I ask is if the boxes fill up, and then we have someone
muted.
requesting, then that person, somebody will have to drop. Then that person, somebody will have to drop. But go ahead, Alicia. I want to hear what you have to share.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, 'cause I'm hiding in the bathroom because I have 6 dogs and 5 of them are Chihuahuas, so they don't shut up. But my story's super quick. So I lost my mother in 2023 to an overdose. So it was fairly quick. And she used to be the one that would like come over, play with my dogs, love on the dogs. Like the dogs, they all love my mother. And I remember I woke up one night at like 3 a.m. and as soon as I opened the door, of course, the dogs hear it and they start barking and they're all going nuts. And I was about to like say, shut up or, whatever, because my husband was sleeping and I just hear coming from, I don't know where, it was knock it off. And it was in my mother's voice. And all the dogs went quiet. Now my dogs don't go quiet. So I stood there in my doorway for like, I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes, and they stayed quiet the entire time. So I know that they had heard it too. But I know my mother was with me that night and she had yelled at my dogs. I know it was her. But it was just crazy. Like it was so loud. I looked back to see if my husband had moved, to see if it was maybe him, but it wasn't. And obviously he didn't hear it because he was sleeping. But the
Right.
dog stayed quiet for the entire time. It was the most amazing thing. It scared the shit out of me though. I wanted to get back in bed and pull the blanket over my head. Because like if you can't hear them now, but even now they're still barking because they hear me talking. They don't ever shut up. And they used to
And
always
dogs
shut
know.
up when it was
Dogs sense that stuff. Dogs can see things that we can't see. Just like they say that babies, until they develop their full vision and all of that, and until they have the mindset of where they're more like self-aware as far as the world goes and stuff, but they can see things like that. But then you get older and you start to think about it and you don't believe, and then you stop seeing those things. I'm not going to say I've never seen anything. I've seen stuff in like pictures I've taken. Like there's this old church that every now and then my husband will drive us to, and it's an old abandoned church, and everybody swears that they see this woman standing in the window of the church. Well, this last Halloween, we rode past it, and I took a bunch of pictures. I posted them. I don't know if I still have them, but they're on my page. And I kid you, like 2 children with an adult standing behind them, and it was wicked. But in front of my face, as far as apparitions and things go, I've never seen something clear. I've seen stuff out of the corner of my eye that when I bring it up to my husband days later at our old house, he said he saw something too, the same thing, but I've never seen anything like right in front of me. But animals can, and babies can, and some people can, but I haven't.
So, Alicia, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you out in the mountains?
No.
No? Are you in a city? Are you
I'm
in
in
a
a
country or
Nope, I'm in a city.
city?
Mhm.
That's weird. That sounds like a mimic to me, and that's usually in country backgrounds. Like that's terrifying.
Oh, it scared the hell out of
I'm
me.
not
I
gonna lie.
literally wanted to jump back in bed and pull the cover over my head. But the
Yeah,
only
that's a
reason why
mimic.
I think it's her is because like And a lot of times, so I have a lot of medical issues, and she was always there for me. But now, like when things happen, I know she's not here anymore, and I'll think about her for a second. But like when it's really bad, I can smell her perfume, and I know she's like right there. And I won't.
But
even
when
be
you hear her
thinking about it.
screaming, like
Oh,
the
yeah, no,
screaming
she
part,
screamed.
that's
I'm on the
I don't
fence
know.
about that, Irish.
Yeah,
Sorry, could you
me
drop
too.
me?
That's where I'm at right now, Green Eye. Come on, give it to me.
No, I think it very well could be her mother, especially if it's
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that she would have done
yeah.
that she would have done while living.
Yeah, I think
But
so
the,
too.
the screaming sounds so mimicky.
Oh no, my
Me,
mom would yell at these dogs because like we love these dogs with all our hearts, but they literally nobody can walk past this house without them barking. They're constantly going, and she would always tell them, "Knock it off, knock it off."
So is that what you hear?
And that's what I heard. Just that one time, she screamed,
Okay.
"Knock it off!" And they literally
Okay.
all
Well,
went silent.
that's your mama. That's your
yeah,
mama all day long.
Like
I
it blew
agree.
my mind.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I agree.
And
I
Yeah,
agree.
I agree.
I will tell y'all, there was so before, like when me and my husband first got together, we lived with his grandparents. Well, his grandmother was in a nursing home, but we would bring her home a lot. But his grandpa was home all the time. And when his grandpa passed away, my husband was working a second shift job and he would get off work every night at midnight. Every night at midnight, I would make sure that whatever his plate of food was, I would heat it up for him. I would make sure that he had a hot plate of food whenever he got home. If I didn't cook that night, I would make sure to heat him something up so he would have something to eat when he got home. Well, this one night, I forgot. I laid down and I forgot to set my alarm clock. The one night I forgot, and I lay down on the couch and I fell asleep. And his papa had just passed away, and I shit y'all not, I heard his papa yell, "Hey!" really loud, and I woke up and I looked at my phone and it was 12 o'clock on the dot. It was wild. That's not the only thing that's happened in that house though after his papa passed away. In his bedroom, well, in his bedroom, he had one of those stand up fans, and nobody had been in that room in weeks, months, maybe even. And I don't even remember why I went back there in the room. I was going in there looking for something, and when I walked in that room, the fan was on. The stand up fan was turned on, it was blowing. Nobody had been back there. That room stayed shut off. And then he had a recliner in the living room that he would always sit in. That's where he would watch the news, he would watch his game shows, and he would rock back and forth, back and forth. Well, one night we were all sitting in the living room and we were watching TV, and that recliner just started rocking back and forth, all by itself. And not just barely moving, it was rocking like someone was in it, and nobody was nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. Ceiling fans have started to spin by themselves before. I'll be laying in the bed and it's dark, and next thing you know, the ceiling fan just starts spinning. And I know it was his papa. I know it was. But yeah, it was wild.
Can I tell you my story?
Yes, tell us.
First off, hey Raggedy, Green Eyed, other members down there.
Hey,
D Mac.
D-Mac. Hi.
I too spent 2 nights on the Queen Mary, and I didn't have a lot of activity, walking around in the daytime because there was a lot of people there, and it was busy. But that night when we got back to the room, the faucet in the bathroom kept coming on. And I was like, whoa, this is awesome yet scary, And I'd get up and turn the faucet in the bathroom off, and it would drip and drip, and I'd listen to it drip. And then I'd go back in there and be like messing with it, trying to make it stop dripping. Go back to bed, get in the bed, damn faucet comes on. That went on until I finally just went to bed, and I guess it just quit. But that was the really only weird thing that went on the whole time I was there. I was kind of a little disappointed because I don't know what I wanted, but maybe a little more than the faucet. But at least, we got something. But there was so many people on that ship coming and
Well,
going
there's
and walking, and, you know, it was a little bit hard to really investigate the way you'd want to, you know, because there was a lot of children on the ship too. So we felt a little awkward with it, you know. We'd try to find places to go where there wouldn't be people around, and then next thing you know, there was people around, and so it was a little too touristy at the time I was there.
Well, they do for ghost hunters. They do tours at midnight and 2 o'clock in the morning, and there are areas of the ship that are far more active than other areas. I mean, the
Yeah,
ship is massive.
I've seen that
It's
now.
massive.
I've seen other people there, but when I went, this was the 80s, they didn't have that. They weren't doing it. So the paranormal's come a long way that they will do that for you now.
But
The
my
other
biggest
thing,
thing would be like, what is to stop that from attaching to you? Like, I would want to go into it with a strong group of people that I know what to do, and like you've got to think about what happens afterwards because you don't want anything to attract to you, and you bring it home. Hey, I know, right? Hey,
Teresa, you know you're in the box. Um,
hey.
well,
Alicia,
that
the
comes
ship is
with,
permanently docked in Long Beach, California. It doesn't travel.
yeah, it's just like it's a tourist ship that you can go stay on.
I'm just scared about what's going to attach to me.
Well, that's where your intent
It's
comes in.
terrifying.
That's where your faith comes in. That's where you also tell them they're not going to follow you. I mean,
But my curiosity is way more
it's
intense.
not. It's
Irish.
not.
I just want to go and see. I want to go to Salem. I do. But
Oh, well,
I'm
that would be
terrified.
fine.
I'm
I mean, these
terrified.
aren't. The chances of you running into something very demonic are pretty slim. I mean, these are just regular people who have passed on that are energy that are out there. They're everywhere you go. You know, if you tune in, they're everywhere.
Well, it's the same with the soldier that messed with me in my house. Like, I know all
Right.
he was doing was flipping on my light on and off, but it still scared the crap out of me
Oh,
because
well, yeah,
we
yeah. I
decided to
mean,
play Jumanji one day with the freaking Ouija board, and we were only children, and the freaking shit went off the fucking wall.
yeah,
Scared the bejesus. It was just a soldier having fun with us. I get that. I know that.
yeah.
But
That
I
would
am
scare you as a child. I
terrified.
don't know that I would. Yeah, that's traumatizing as a
It
child.
was.
But I think everyone at some point in their childhood messed around with a Ouija board. You know, we did at
Dumb,
slumber
dumb. Don't do
parties
it.
and
Don't do it.
all these. Yeah, luckily nothing happened, but I don't. We had no
You
idea
don't
what
know
we were
that.
doing,
You
so it
don't
could
know that
have.
it can't. Yeah.
Oh, I know it can. Um, my other thing is in '94, I lost my parents in a car wreck. Okay,
Oh,
all I
jeez.
had were some news articles. It had made the paper, and what witnesses that saw it said, and you know this and that. But they came to me in a dream, and they showed me everything that happened, and I saw it clear vision, exactly as it was. I woke up. I was upset. It was terrible. But after that, I was happy that they showed me because I wondered, and they knew that I was talking about it. They knew that I was always wondering, how did that happen? How did that happen? How did that happen? So they showed me how it happened, and I don't know if it's my mother or my father, but without a doubt, and I mean it don't matter how many times a day I look, pick up the phone, it's going to be the same number. It's going to be 333. It's going to be 444. I think it's my dad because he was always the trickster. My mother, however, I believe leaves me dimes every single place I go. I mean, they're everywhere. I have a whole jar of dimes that I know she's just left, you know. Now, why, I don't know, but there is that's a symbolism. Um, I appreciate it. It makes me very happy when I find them. It's been long enough now that I can talk about it without being emotional about it, because through the years they've just, they're around. I know they're around. Now this home I'm in now, the lady who lived here died here. She had cancer and she passed away here. She does not bother me. But one night I was on the patio, as I usually am at night, and I was sitting there and I was, of course, watching TikTok, and all of a sudden somebody says in my ear, "Hey," and I mean clear as day, "Hey," and I said, "Oh, hey," and that freaked me out because that had never happened here. But now I see shadows in here all the time. I know the lady's around. She does not bother me. I think she's very pleased with the way I keep her house. We coexist. It could be someone else, but I feel like it's her, because I think if it was one of my dearly departeds or my parents, they would let me know. They would, especially if it was my father, because he was just always doing something, just mess with you. There's just energy all around. And you can tap in, and it's not scary. It doesn't have to be scary. It's more interesting to find out about the other side and about how things really go when you pass on. The energy, they can draw energy from us. They can draw energy from lots of things. And that's how they coexist in that spirit world. They can go into different dimensions. They can, it's really amazing. It really is.
I will tell y'all, when my dad passed away, I had a really hard time with it, obviously. It was crazy, but there's this girl that I had followed for a very long time on Facebook, and she grew up near my town, and she was always said to be a psychic medium and could communicate with the afterlife, and people would pay her good money to do that. Well, when my dad passed away, there were a couple things she told me that interested me and made me think about things. And one of those things was, when you lose someone you love, like within the first few days, you can write a letter, like write it down on a piece of paper, and somehow they'll see it. But then she also told me, when people pass away, for the first few days, they're like stuck in this kind of like this waiting room type area, and they can hear everything you say, they could see everything you do, and that was kind of why she said that he could see the letter if I wrote it. But something wild that she told me, this girl did not know my daddy from Adam, and she told me that she had fallen asleep one night and had a dream, and in my dream it was my dad, and she said, I was just curious if he was into things like motorcycles and race cars and just stuff that all around goes fast. And I was like, it's crazy you said that, because he's always been big into race cars and racing. That's what he did for years. But he's recently developed a really big interest in motorcycles. He had a couple of Harley Davidsons before he passed. He had went and bought these really nice leather motorcycle vest. He had one in particular that was his favorite that I actually have on the back of my work chair. It's been there ever since he passed, but he loved it. He was really big into it. And she said, well, all she could see in her dream with him was he was on a motorcycle and he was just flying on that thing, and he was just so happy, not a care in the world, and you could just see him grinning from ear to ear, like he felt good and he looked good. And that was just kind of cool to me because, like I said, she didn't know from Adam. But that's when I really started getting interested in it. I've always thought it was cool. I've always, liked watching stuff. But as far as a deep interest and wanting to learn more, about it, and wanting to participate in paranormal investigations, that is when I started really deep diving. And it's not like you see on TV. People think about it and they think, what you see in the movies and TV shows, that's what you're going to expect. It's really nothing like that. Nothing
at all.
Hi, Krista. Hi, Krista.
Hey, Krista.
Hi, Krista.
Hey, I just came to tell a story real quick. It won't take me long. So once upon a time in TikTok land, I wandered into a live with this really nutso girl who I absolutely love, who was walking through a cemetery in Crocs. So within that live, somehow this pain in the ass ghost named Charlotte decided to come through my cell phone and attach herself to my cat.
Yep.
And the bitch ain't gone back yet. That's all I need. Love y'all. I'm
Love
a
you.
You so crazy.
Little
Oh
Miss
my
Charlotte
God.
ain't going nowhere. You're stuck with her.
Charlotte chose you, Krista. Sorry.
Yep, she's yours now.
Yep. It ain't going nowhere.
Hi,
Embrace,
Andy.
embrace Charlotte, please.
You got a story
Yeah,
for
I
us,
lost
Andy?
my bus. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I want to make sure everybody gets to
No, I'm
talk.
sorry.
Oh, you're okay. Go ahead, Andy.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Oh, wow. Okay. Usually I glitch. Um, well, this won't be long. We bought a fixer-upper house from a very elderly woman, and the home was built in the 1880s, and we purchased it in the mid 90s, well, early 90s. And she moved behind us three to have her come to the home for dinner. She would take her apples from the apple tree she said her husband planted. It was one of those 5 different apple kind of apple trees. It was really cool. Then one night, I had gone up the stairs. It was 1.5 story house. Upstairs had been turned into bedrooms, the attic. And I turned and looked to the left to my son's room. And the dresser mirror reflected the mirror on my room to the right. And when I looked in the mirror, I saw a man walk directly into my son's room and lay down on a bed. Now, mind you, there were bunk beds in there, but in that moment, there was one bed. He laid down and he said, "Good night, Verlene."
Dang.
And I'm standing there in the middle between, I'm looking at the bathroom, 2 bedrooms on the left, 1 bedroom on the right. And I just stood there and I got the weirdest vibe ever. And all I said was, "Good night, Norm." And I went to bed.
Oh, there's a
week
name
later-
for that.
Yeah, about a week later, we went to go see Mrs. Foster that we bought the house from and found out her husband had passed away from cancer in that room with only a bed in it.
That's wild. That's
Didn't
wild.
know it when we bought the house. I'm like, okay.
You
That's
should
crazy.
never have 2 mirrors where they face each other like that because it can create a portal.
I know that. But green eye, I guess it was like,
Saying.
I mean, I got the
Gotta
feng
let your
shui, I
chat
got the
know.
crystals, I'm doing the cinnamon at my door, I'm saging, I'm meditating and grounding, and I know I knew better, but it was just the way the rooms were situated with the dormers and the pitch of the, the roof for the attic part. There was no other place to put that dresser. And it creeped me out to begin with. But anyway, good night, Norm.
That was wild. That was wild.
That's crazy.
I will tell y'all too, and this is probably gonna sound weird to people, but I told y'all that we lived with my husband's grandparents when we first got together, and the house that we lived in is where his dad and his uncles all grew up, and one of his uncles had passed away right before my husband was born back in '87. 87. He was run over by a preacher. Actually, he was very young when he passed away, and he was run over by a preacher on purpose, which is dad. Everybody was 420 friendly, and we have always been a 420 friendly, like not all the time, but we don't have anything against it. One day, it was a really bad day, and we were really young back then. This was before we even had kids together. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but we were talking about 420 and how, we wish that we had some. I'm just being honest. And again, I go back into my husband's grandpa's room. Well, at this point, his grandma, we had brought her home for a weekend, and I think I was going back there to take her some food or something. I don't know. But there was this old antique wicker chair, and we still have this wicker chair. It was his uncle's wicker chair, his Uncle Randy's wicker chair. That's why we kept it. It's very old wicker chair that just sat there. Nobody ever sat in it. Nobody ever touched it. Nobody ever messed with it because it was his Uncle Randy's wicker chair. Well, I walked in there to do whatever I was doing for his grandma, and I was like folding up some of her clothes, putting them away, making sure that she was good. And I looked over, and when I tell y'all, and listen, I had been in that room many times, and this was not there before. Out of nowhere, there was some 420 sitting in that wicker chair, just sitting there. Nothing else was in that wicker chair. Nothing. And so I picked it up and I went to my husband and I was like, did you put this in your Uncle Randy's chair? Put this in your Uncle Randy's chair? Like, did you have this in your papa and mama's room? He was like, no, I don't know where that came from. I have no idea. He was serious too. But it's like it just randomly fell out of the sky. Y'all tell me that's not wild. Y'all tell me that's not
That's
crazy.
called the 420 fairy.
It was something. It was
420 fairy.
insane.
That's
Anybody in the chat, if you have a story that you want to share of a paranormal experience, please don't. You can request a box. Anybody's welcome to come up.
I lost my best friend 10 years ago, and he was a prankster in real life. And I just had all kinds of crazy stuff happen in my house after he passed. And I did exactly like what Raggedy said. I just said, that's it, that's enough. You need to go rest now. And it just came to a halt. But for, I want to say, a good 3 months after he passed, and it was just dumb things, things would go missing, or, I'd leave them one place, they'd be missing for a while and pop up in some weird random place. I'm very particular about where I put things. I'm very organized. Things have to go in the same spot all the time. So it would just drive me completely insane. And once I said, that's it, we're not doing this anymore, it just came to a halt and was done.
Yeah. I mean, stuff. It's crazy the stuff that happens, and there's a lot of times things will happen, and people won't even think about what it actually could, the possibility that could legit be them trying to communicate. I've had dreams about the best friend that I lost whenever I was in the 4th grade. Not long after she passed away, I'll never forget. I had a dream about her, and she was in her Tennessee Vols cheerleading uniform that she loved. It was her favorite thing to wear, and she was standing in line somewhere with her mom. And I remember I had to do a double take in my dream, and she was just looking at me smiling, and I ran up to her and I was pulling at the skirt on her uniform and pulling at the shirt and feeling of her hair, and I was like, what is going on? How are you here? Like, you passed away. You were in a whole accident. How are you here? And it was crazy. And for those that don't know, my best friend in 4th grade, she was riding in the car with her mom, and her mom tried to beat a train that was coming, and it didn't work, and they were in an accident. Many years later, my mom marries this great guy that she's with now. My stepdad, he's amazing. He's always been there for me and my sister, treated us as if we were his own. I couldn't ask for a better man to be with my mom. But one night I was missing my friend. Her name was Trisha, and I brought her up to my mom on a phone call. I don't even remember why I brought her up, but she said it has eat at Tracy for the rest of his life. Ever since it happened, it's always bothered him. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I got to thinking, because my stepdad did work for the railroad company. He did used to drive trains. It turns out the man that was driving the train, whenever my friend's mom tried to beat it, was my stepdad now, which is crazy. And, you know, at first I was very angry when I heard it. That was only for a few seconds because I know when a person is driving a train, like they can't just stop a train just like you can stop a car. Like they need at least a good mile before it will stop. But it's just weird to me how all these years later, that is who wound up becoming my stepdad, was the man who was driving that train. So talk about a weird,
That's
freaky.
crazy.
It is. It's freaking wild.
Circle.
There are several people requesting, and I hope that they mean to, because I'm bringing them up. She's just connecting on my end.
I hear Ringo walking around.
Yeah, he
Walking around.
has really been on one today. I'm not even gonna lie. He's about to drive me damn nuts. He just has a fit over everything.
Could be the moon.
I
If
don't
y'all
know. I
if
don't
y'all
know.
haven't
So
been out and looked at it, you really need to go look. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a pink moon.
I just want to say, like, when it comes to like the anomalies, Andy has had a lot. She's from the Ozark. She's had a lot of freaking weird stuff happen. I'm from the Civil War era, so like but Andy, the things that she has told me, the stories that she has portrayed, oh my goodness, like she has seen the actual like um I don't even know the words, the Ozark type of anomalies. Like Andy has told me some crazy stories. Yep.
Wild.
Facts part of the Trail of Tears.
Yeah,
Yep.
I sent her a follow because I'd love
Please
to.
do. Please do. Because her stories are freaking amazing. Like, I don't even know what she's going through because I have never experienced the stories she's told me. I couldn't imagine. I thought she was part of the Ozarks. I mean, not, I'm sorry, part of the mountains of the East. No, she's part of the Ozarks. Like, those mountains are way different than ours.
3 sacred burial grounds. You know what?
it's
You've got the
crazy. Her. Please listen to her stories because they're crazy. They're way beyond our East Side mountain, our little mountain stories from the East Side. She's got the Ozarks. They're crazy.
Yeah, I've been
They're
following
they're
Andy for a long time.
yeah, they're Indian burial. Like all's is our freaking mountain, our East Side mountains, but hers are like actual Indian burial Ozark mountains. Like she's got a lot of stories. Please follow her.
Yeah, and plus she's a really good person, y'all. Like Andy is one person I can say is not. She's not with the drama and she's not with the BS. She tries to get along with everybody, but she just tries to stay away from the negativity.
Yeah.
There's a lot of background noise.
She's got a lot of great stories to tell. So please follow her. Ghost stories, real life stories, hippie stories. Please follow her. Hippie stories. Please follow her.
Hey,
I love
Tanya.
her. I'm out. Love y'all.
I love you, Irish. I hope you have
Yeah, I'm out.
for joining.
I love you, Raggedy. I'm
Love
here
you.
for you all.
Bye. And if you guys aren't following Irish, make sure that you follow her too. Make sure that you follow her too. I've been friends with her for, I know, at least a year now on this app. She's good people. Hi, Perry. Do you have a story to share?
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
All I gotta say is everybody has gone pee, right?
Listen, I have to go pee every 5 minutes, so I'm not answering that.
Well, the other night, and it was just like 2 nights ago. My mom was in the living room with her fiance. They were watching a movie. All of a sudden, well, a backstory. My mom's mom passed away, so she has her things here in the house. And the chair next to her, or the light next to her, is my mom's. All the lights in the living room are my memos. Well, those started going off. The TV shut off on them, and all I heard was them screaming, cussing, and going on. And I walked down, and I'm like, what? And she goes, and the lights kept going off. And I'm like, Mom, you know who's here, right? And she goes, who? I said, just think about it. Whose lights are these? And she goes, all right, Mom, that's enough. And everything shut off.
Listen, stuff like that happens. Like, I love hearing stuff like that because it does happen. And so many people are freaking skeptics. And it drives, like, I get it. You're going to not believe what you're not going to believe, and you're going to believe what you want to believe. But I just know, like, I have an audio clip somewhere that would blow y'all's minds. If my son hadn't taken his phone charger back, I would put my iPhone on the charger and I would find that audio. And maybe, I wonder if you save something to an iPhone, if it also saves to your iPad. Hang on, let me get my iPad. If I could find that audio and play it for you, you'll hear me. Like, it's just me in the house. Nobody else is in the house. And I have I have two different dolls that I think I'm asking questions to. One of them was the first one I got, and the other one was the second. And I'm just asking yes or no questions. And you can hear it plain as day, and it's with both of them answering yes or no. And it's like there's no denying it. No denying it. Where's my iPad? Oh, I would lose my head if it wasn't attached.
See, that's the thing. People really don't understand. Because, and here's another one. My uncle, which is my mom's little brother, he got sick with it was his liver was shutting down. He was turning yellow. He didn't want to go near he's got 9 kids. He did not want to be around his kids when he knew that something was going on. So he stayed here with us. Well, Mom noticed something was wrong and tried to get him to the hospital. And by the time she got him there, he was already gone. You know, his spirit was already gone, but his body was still here. Well, a couple of days after that, she felt something touch her neck or something, like, a cold wind, and I know what that is. It was him telling her, I'm still here. And she heard, love you, little sis, and there was nobody in the room. And that's what he would call her, little sis.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Will you guys really quick for just 2 minutes hold the live down? I'm going through these audio recordings on my iPad, and I think it may be on here, but it's going to take me a couple of minutes to listen. So if you guys will just engage with each other in the chat.
A couple things I could share. I have a lot.
Go for it.
All right. So how you were saying, like, that after my grandfather had passed, my nana would come and stay at our house. I was probably teenage. This was my first, no doubt, experience. I would get up, go to the bathroom, go by her door, and I kind of listened in because I could hear her. But she's sleeping and she's talking. And I shit you not, I couldn't understand the words, but it was a male's voice. It was very deep, talking to her, and they were having a freaking conversation. And then all of a sudden I smelt my grandfather's, like, his cologne. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's the thing, sweetheart. If, like, somebody smoked or,
Yep.
alcohol. And if somebody that does know them smells it,
Yeah.
then that means
My
they
Nana
are.
comes, when she passed, I smell her navy perfume.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
She's
or
around you.
perfume.
Then she's.
My grandmother comes in the smell of, I don't want to say farm, but she lived out in the farm, but she lived out in the country area. And then my aunt kind of smells like Metamucil crackers. Don't ask why. But
I had to text my husband because my grandfather smoked a pipe, and
yep,
my husband's downstairs. I'm upstairs, and I would smell his pipe tobacco every now and again.
yep.
But my husband also smokes a pipe, so I'm up here. We're
Oh
talking
yeah.
about ghost. I'm up here. We're
Oh
talking
yeah.
about ghost stories, and I'm like,
They
"What's
smelling a
happening
pipe.
right now?" I had to
My
text him.
mom had
I'm
told
all, "You
me.
smoking a pipe?" He said, "Yes." I
Yep.
said,
She
"Okay."
said when my great grandfather passed, after that she used to smell his pipe. So, yep.
Yeah,
I'm
I
used to
had to double
this.
check. It's not my grandpa, it's the husband.
Yes, husband. His pipe.
And really quick, what is OG? I'm watching the chat a little bit. What is OG saying? If y'all could let Raggedy know, please.
Oh,
Oh, that she said that
that's so
Outlaws
great.
was home.
Yes.
Outlaws back home.
Oh, that
Listen,
was beautiful.
that's fucking amazing. I stand on Outlaws' story is just getting
Oh,
started.
he's home.
He's not going
He's
anywhere.
good. Yay.
I love that. Thank you for telling me, OG. That makes my night. Okay, I'm gonna mute again, y'all, because I'm still listening to these.
Okay.
I've got a couple more to go through, but I think I might have it. Fingers crossed. So
All right.
thank
We'll
you guys
search.
for holding it down.
We got this.
Well, I know Raggedy doesn't want to do the spirit box with the dolls, but has everybody seen the dolls? Maybe we can get her to at least show them on camera.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Seen them.
I've
They're
seen.
awesome.
And another thing, any of you that have family that has passed on, even if you talk to them, they will come around. I
So,
noticed a couple of
yeah.
weeks ago. A lot of you don't know that my father passed away when I was a baby, like 5 or 6 years old. And well, Green Eye knows and Raggedy knows that I've had multiple brain surgeries. So my memory has been wiped of my father. But I have a picture of him, and I would say, Daddy, I love you. And then all of a sudden, something will go off in my room. And that's when I know he's here.
Oh, that's so great.
Listen, I tell people all the time, if you look for the signs, we're typically not paying attention. It's just our
Yeah. You
nature.
got to pay attention.
But if you are truly paying attention, your loved ones are around you so much more than you think that they are. You
Oh, yeah,
know,
they're there.
um, I was taking a walk with my husband, and I was talking about my brother and sharing some stories. And on the sidewalk was a little rock that was shaped just like a heart.
Heart. Yep.
And
My girlfriend sees
yeah,
him from her mom.
yeah, and of course I picked
I
it
have,
up, but these little signs are around us all the time if we're paying attention. They
I've
are
had
there.
2 obvious, big, can't deny signs. You want to hear these?
Yeah.
So my great aunt, who was my godmother, she lived to almost 99 years old. I was very close with this woman. I lived with her for 30 something years. When she was passing away, she was ready to go, and I went to the nursing home, and I told her goodbye, and I told her I said, it was August. I said, Halloween's coming. And we used to dress her up, even in her 90s. She was dressing up for Halloween for the kids. I said, you come haunt me. You can come and haunt me. So I did go do her hair in the funeral home and everything, just like I did with my Nana, her sister. That night, my best friend, like sister at the time. I was doing her hair and we're sitting in my kitchen and we're talking about her and just laughing and everything. Youngest son, you know the ABC, the bus with the frog on it, the leapfrog, ABC thing that you put the letters in and you push it and it's like a
Oh,
big
yes,
bus.
yes.
And it's kind of heavy. We saw it jump on my refrigerator.
My,
Legit, like, I mean, not like all the way off the fridge, but it like went, it like hopped down. There's no fucking way that can happen.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
And then all of a sudden, I smelled like Metamucil crackers and tea. That was her thing. And her and I just sat there, and we were just like so happy. So happy.
Yeah, that's
Then
good.
my second story,
Yeah, that's
then
good.
my second story, my second one, this is hard. I lost my best friend in July. And it was very hard. It's a big thing behind it. We have really no idea what she really passed from. But I'm sitting here going like, there's suspicions of her husband and it's not. And I'm like, girl, just tell me, am I on the right? Because we had a conversation, hey, if I suddenly pass, look at him, look into him, meaning her husband. Yeah. So I needed to like get this out and say something to her sister. And I said, if I'm on the right path, the right way. All of a sudden I hear like, it was a while later though. Maybe like, I don't know how long. I just had given up and like I didn't hear nothing. And all of a sudden I hear something fall in my kitchen. I go out there and I have sugar skulls all around my kitchen. And the Halloween, they did a big party one Halloween before they ended up moving to Tennessee. She had given me this Day of the Dead sign. That's what fell. That thing had been hanging on my wall for 2 or 3 years already. That fell. And we were smart asses. She was a lot like me. So literally, she gave me a sign.
yeah. There's actually somebody that's down in the chat. I won't say her name, but she was live and the lights in her kitchen started flickering and then a butter knife flew right off the camera and we all saw it. The disbelief, it's recorded. I'll see if she can post it. I won't
That's
out
where
her.
you don't want to be. You don't want to be at that point.
But I did give her some advice on how she could get rid of that, and she doesn't want to. She's like, "No, I'm perfectly fine with it." I was like, "Okay."
No, not when things are flying like that.
A butter knife? Yeah, that's a pass for me.
Yeah, no. When I know who it is, I'm okay.
Well, she might want to look into who it
No
is.
thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good enough being empathic, sensitive, but I wouldn't want.
I wouldn't want him to graduate up to a steak knife,
Yeah, I knew it was her. I'll take
Every
it as
time
her.
she's live, almost every time, if she has the kitchen lights on, they'll flicker off and on, just real quick. It's really crazy.
Yeah, before we moved here, my uncle had to remodel the whole place because it's 2 houses put together. There was a couple here, and one passed away in the house. But she doesn't bother us. We know she's here because we see things. What are those things that, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but, our grandparents had, like the things that they can put stuff in? What are those things called? They're cedar or whatever they call
Your
them.
chest?
Yeah. And all of a sudden, one night, we heard something go pop,
The
and
hope chest.
everything in the cedar chest that she had of hers was out on the floor. There was nobody awake. Everybody was asleep. And we're like, what in the world?
Those are
And
heavy to lift. They got
yeah,
pretty solid heavy tops.
right. There was nobody up though. And we're like, Mom goes, all right, Mom, that's enough. I know you're here. I love you. Now leave it alone. And we have her china cabinet here. Everything out of the china cabinet was, all the doors were open, and some of her china was on her table sitting right in front of it. And Mom goes, all right, Mom, we're not using your china no more. It is up for a reason, my dear. I love you. Leave it alone. Love you. Leave it alone.
Yeah, I kind of have it's a it's not a ghost story, and I don't know, it kind of could be, I guess. But my mother-in-law, she passed away from Alzheimer's. My mother-in-law and my father-in-law passed 10 days apart, and my father-in-law passed first. And my mother-in-law's Alzheimer's was so advanced that we didn't tell her that he had passed. And in her last 2 days before she passed away, she was talking to him. And my father-in-law lived in Ecuador, and had been gone for many months. So he wasn't even around at the time when he passed away. And we never told her. And she was talking to him, and for the last 2 days that she was here, and then she passed 10 days after him. So we always kind of took comfort in that he came for her, that it was her time and for them to be together again. But when we're leaving this earth and going into our our next life, the veil is very thin. It's very, very thin. So it's not at all uncommon for those that are getting ready to pass away to start seeing and speaking to loved ones that.
Absolutely.
Agree 100%.
Yep. My aunt went through it. My great aunt, my aunt, and my grandmother.
Yeah.
They were
Mom,
saying things like,
go ahead,
That
Layla.
actually gives me a lot of comfort, as well, because you know, I know exactly who's going to be there to help me transition to the other side when it's my time. And I have no fear of it because of that.
my aunt, my mom's sister, had a unaliving experience. She literally ran through a glass window or something when they were kids. They were younger. She flatlined, and she came back, and she says to this that she's not afraid because it was so peaceful.
I'm not afraid to go because I already know. Raggedy knows this, but the rest of you don't. I've never said it to anyone else but Raggedy. Um, I was in surgery in 2022. I was above my body. I can see my body on the table, and I see my body on the table, and I felt a hand say, "You're not ready to come home yet, young lady. Go home."
Yeah.
And I woke up.
I had a little cousin. That had a very, very, very similar. I'm back, by the way, guys. I guess it's just on my phone. I don't know. Some of the audio recordings are on my iPad, but not all of them. I'm missing a few of them. But I was gonna say what's my husband's little cousin, but I consider her mine too.
Yeah.
When she was born, she had a lot of heart issues. I mean, she still does, but they're a lot more stable. But they basically had to rebuild the whole entire wall around her heart. But when she was really, really young, like 5 or younger, she had an open heart surgery, one of her open heart surgeries. And when she came out of it, she told her mom that she could see herself. Like she was describing things that the doctor confirmed literally happened, saying that she was up above watching her body and watching the doctors and the surgeons operate on her and this and that. She swore that she saw Jesus one time and described him to us and all kinds of things. And it legitimately gave me chill bumps, but not in a bad way, in a good way. But it was definitely different than what I've ever heard before. It was crazy.
Right.
I'm so
There's been a
sorry.
lot of cases of during surgery of people seeing themselves outside of their body. It's very interesting.
Well, see, a lot of people don't believe me when I say it. They say I'm crazy.
No, you're not crazy.
No,
It's actually
not at all.
really
A lot. I've heard that.
We're not
Yeah,
crazy at all.
no, not at all. Not crazy at all.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm bummed I can't find this. I mean I know I have it on my phone, but that phone is dead. I never use it anymore. But I really thought maybe it would be on this iPad.
Raggedy, what do you think of showing the dolls? Not doing the spirit box, but just so people can see what they look like.
I'll show them, but I think pretty much everybody that's in here has probably seen them.
They're
I've
so
showed them
cool.
on my phone. I've got
Some of them, some of them have creepy. Nope. Bad vibe.
They're not scary. They're not scary.
Nope.
They're not scary at all. Some of them are just old.
Nope. Some give off vibe. Nope. Nope.
Uh,
I tell you, my cousin had a freaking doll, and it was oh my god, she named it Mildred. And it had that weird, crying, crooked face. And this doll just,
That's one of my favorites. This one. This is Iris. Iris's eyes are like it. They.
a little too real.
I don't know. Huh?
Did her eyes
I'll
just
show.
close for us?
They follow you.
Yeah.
This is the very first one that I got. I mean, it's very dim in here right now, but this is the very first one I got, Peyton. And then the second one that I got is right here. That's Carrie. This is Hillary.
Oh, that
I
one.
don't know. I don't know her name. That's Iris. That's Sabrina.
Nope.
I don't know her name. That's Layla. And then we've got Izzy and Hazel. Yeah, I mean, I've got some of them put away, but the ones that are put away, I don't necessarily know that are spirited. I will say, I've never done any communicating with her, and I've never done any communicating with Hazel or Izzy, and I've never done any communicating with Layla, and I don't even know her name. Her,
Yeah.
this one, my husband and I were doing an investigation with her together. So I got this from an actual paranormal investigator. He got it out of a home with a child. The doll was bought for the child. This is a Cracker Barrel doll. And the child swore that the doll moved. The parents swore that the doll, and the paranormal investigator didn't believe it until he actually got the doll out of the house and brought it into what he called his haunted room and said that she definitely does move. I've never seen it. My husband says he has. I came home. Let me turn this off really quick.
See, I got a vibe. I got a vibe from her just when I just said no before, and no, there's something with her.
I'll tell you.
No,
I'll tell you.
I
When I
forgot.
first,
I got goosebumps. I got chicken skin right now.
well, I'll tell you, when I first got her, when she first came in, I opened up the box, and when I opened up the box, I literally could feel her energy, just like it just, I
Yeah.
stumbled backwards. But my husband, stop, Ringo.
I
That
felt it
hurt.
through the phone. Whoa.
Golly, he's being mean tonight.
I
My
like
husband, the first time we investigated with her, he had a hold of her hand, and he said the whole time he was holding her hand, the longer he held it, the worse his vision got.
Yeah,
And
no.
then when he let go, it was different. Now, when we moved here, I didn't know where I was going to put her, so I had her set up behind our TV. in my bedroom. I came home one day and he had her facing backwards because he said that her eyes was moving. He said she was staring at me. I don't care what you say, her eyes were moving, whatever. And then I came home again another
I
day
don't
and
care
he
what
had
you
done
said.
it to her in the bathroom. He had put her face down in our bathroom closet. When I tell you that man is
I don't blame
terrified
him.
of her, he's terrified.
Girl, I still got. Oh. And then the other one, the first one.
Well, that was the first one that I showed, and then so
No, the
Iris,
first, like the blonde one with the
oh, the
weirder,
first
like.
one that I ever got, Peyton. Yeah,
Ooh.
she's definitely got a lot of energy. Sabrina is another one
Yeah.
that allegedly moves. Her and Iris are the two that I have that they're right at 2 foot tall. They're big dolls.
That's the first time I've really seen your dolls for long. Oh.
It's crazy. I mean, I don't know. They don't bother anything. At one point, the TVs would get messed with, the lights would get messed with. My doors in our other house would like randomly open and randomly close themselves. But I don't really have anything that happens here outside of pretty regularly. I will see something out of the corner of my eye and it's obvious something's there. But then when I go to look, it's not. I think that they just are never going to show themselves to me. And you know what? I'm good with that. That's okay. I don't have to see a ghost apparition, but I do like communicating with them. I just haven't done it in a long time because I have to be in the right
Yeah.
headspace. That's what a lot of people don't
Yeah.
understand. You got to be
That's
in the
why I
right
just
headspace.
stopped.
Yeah. And I'm just not right now. I'm not in the right
So you
headspace
have
at
to
all.
prepare yourself and be ready because, like,
And it's very quick to drain you yourself. Like I just,
anything can drain me. I'm empathic
yes,
and
me
You know you
too.
sensitive.
can get. Oh, sorry.
I
Didn't
didn't
you?
learn this until my teenage years.
You know you can get cat balls too,
I
Raggedy.
have them. Yeah. I have the motion detected cat balls. I have the
Yeah.
twist on, twist off flashlights.
Uh-huh.
Stop. I have a couple of these little pendant necklaces, and they're a lot like the cat balls, but it's an actual pendant. I have an actual spirit box. I gotta charge the speaker up for it. And then I have a couple of different types of K2 meters. And then I have Necrophonic on my iPad and a couple of other things on there. I mean, I've got some stuff, but I'm looking at a couple of different types of REM pods that I want to get eventually. And then there's this one thing that I've been seeing with this paranormal investigator that I got two of my dolls from. So the investigator I got Iris and Sabrina from, and his name is Phantom Swallow. And he has this thing, it's a wooden box, and it's got kind of like one of those, those tin bells or metal bells that they used to have on counters and stuff. And if you went in a store and you needed help, you could just tap the bell. Well, this has like a bell made into it. And the way that it's set up, the spirits can, they can set the bell off. And I love watching him do investigations with that bell. The way that those dolls will just ring that bell and ring it and ring it. And it's not just dolls. He has other things that he
Pod
plans to have
almost.
attachments to. But I want to try.
Concept as a REM pod.
Yeah, I like the REM pods. I do like them. The only thing I will say when it comes to REM pods and K2 meters, I will see people on like TikTok lives and stuff, and they will claim that they are doing investigations and that their dolls are setting stuff off. But I know from my own experience, especially with a K2 meter, but I've seen it with REM pods too. If you have some type of electrical device, like a phone, a tablet, a computer,
Yes.
a TV, and
Yeah.
you
A
put it too
watch.
close to that device, it's gonna set it off.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Like it's
And you
gonna
can set
Absolutely.
something up to make that be near it to set it off.
Yeah, and I tell people, stop, like back away, get a few feet away from it, and then let's see if it goes off. Don't just have your phone right. That's
Right.
not true. And people say, well, you can turn your device on airplane mode, and then it won't set it off. That's not
That's not
That's
true.
not true.
I know, like it's wild. People are
Think-
saying
Many
yes.
people on this
I don't
app
know.
taking this stuff.
It's
I
just,
mean, you can watch them, and it's so obvious. It's some of it is
yeah.
you can tell
You
right
don't
off.
get, you don't always get that much activity
No, and
all
I,
the
I was
time.
gonna say that
All that
earlier.
time. It doesn't.
Right.
They
If
only
it
With these
communicate when they want to.
with
happens,
these TV shows and you see them staying one night and getting all this activity, it does not happen that way.
it's
It
not.
doesn't.
Not all. Yeah, they gotta come up with some, but they don't even have that much, and they're at an actual haunted place, and they don't even get that much
There's a lot of them on here
on a
too.
certain night at a certain time for a certain amount of time. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's wild. They ain't gonna communicate with you unless they want to. And anybody that has ever brought a spirited doll into their home, anybody knows that majority of the time, while yes, you may be able to feel that doll's energy, the majority of the time, that doll is not going to communicate with you for at least a few weeks, possibly a few months, and they may never communicate with you. It is
Right,
if
but it's
they
gonna
want
be
to and when they want to.
sporadic when they want. When it's not. I don't know. Sometimes I can always call bullshit.
Yeah,
I can
Raggedy,
too.
they'll go on the
Reg,
investigation and
what's
say,
your
Naturally, my
thoughts
own.
on
Hang
the
on, hang on.
Warrens?
Everybody's talking all at once. I can hear you, D Mac.
Raggedy,
It's just everybody was talking all at once. What, Green Eyes?
I was
what's your thoughts on the Warrens?
Do I think that some things really did happen with that family and in that house? Yes. Do I think that some things were over exaggerated? I
Yes,
do.
yeah.
Yes.
I live right near them.
I do feel like they had an evil entity in their home. Now, whether or not it's considered a demon is a whole nother story. But if you tap into that evilness, it very well could have been.
Listen,
Yeah.
the Warrens, the house, the museum is not very far from me.
Cool.
There's a big controversy now. It's been going on for a while with the owners of the house now. It's actually owned
Oh, you're talking
by
about the Conjuring House? You're talking about the
yeah,
Warrens?
the
Oh,
Conjuring
yeah,
house.
yeah, that's going
Uh,
on. That's been the
yeah, it's
house.
been going on for a
It's
while,
been
but it's owned by an
yeah.
entertainment company.
Is that who bought it?
Yes.
At
Well,
one point, it was
there's
just
a
split on the
woman that
family.
owns the entertainment company, but it is listed under some entertainment company.
Yeah, you can't.
Uh,
They've made it. You can't even go near. Like you could drive you can't go like the driveway or anywhere near that house.
Yeah, at one point
Near that house.
the young girl who her parents had bought it. Oh, I don't know. It's been a long time ago,
You
but
would
they
go
used to
live.
open it up. Yeah, and they would open it up for like tours and overnight stays
Yeah,
and stuff.
everybody's
teenage
done it,
years.
but there's that big controversy with Jason Hawes' daughter and her husband. They're the ones that do the ABC method. And it was interesting because they say that they can only do that method when they are holding each other's hands. But there is video footage of um, the girl's husband. I think they're married now. As a teenager, doing it by himself. So there's just a lot of controversy around it. Jason Hawes has made several videos coming to their defense, but the lady that owns the Conjuring house now, she's just a wackadoo.
Very much.
The way she has harassed that family is just absolutely insane.
She's
Like
blaming
it's
it on the spirit. She didn't pay anyone. She got rid of that man that had worked with
yeah,
her, claiming that the spirit told her he was stealing. So she's
yeah,
not going to pay him any of his wages. He will win in court.
right. I think she owes him like $13,000.
Oh, yeah.
She owes him a
No, we had
a
health
nice chunk of
insurance.
change.
You guys
Yeah.
know more about it than I do, and I'm only like 20 minutes away.
I quit following stuff about
If
that
they were,
house.
I knew all that. I was big into all this and then I had too much for me, and
I had to just stop. But
It's quite a rabbit hole for sure.
Yeah.
Stewie, I know you got some good ghost stories.
Stewie doesn't have any ghost stories. I'm here to sit
when
my
Stewie comes
butt.
up here, we're gonna take her to the Warren house,
Listen,
and we're gonna introduce her to Annabelle.
Stewie came up here because I'm really trying to listen intently, but the lag is killing me. So
Yeah, it was
I'm
killing
really
me too.
trying to listen to this. I'm interested. So
And I'm like, I know I
I'm
got.
gonna mute myself.
About
I got
that
I,
in the chat.
Have you guys
probably.
ever heard of Harrodsburg, Fort Herod?
Hey, Perry, hold on just a sec. Y'all, there's an update on TikTok. If you haven't done it, it helped me some. I don't know if it'll help you or not, but it might.
Yeah, it helped me with the chat lag too. You guys got to understand that it's not because of anybody in the box, or it's literally TikTok
Yeah.
that is causing it. But I'm gonna be honest, I probably won't be
I've
live
noticed
too much.
everybody's lagging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every live I went in tonight had a lag. It's just
Bobby Joe's fault.
bad. Yeah, it is Papa Joe's fault.
Blame it on Bobby.
All right, who's next? I want to hear more.
I think everybody's already told. I wanted
I haven't
to
told them all, but
look at some, but we ended up having a lot of stories, like
Yeah.
several stories that lasted a lot longer than I expected
I
it to.
still
I
got
been
more.
watching 2 hours.
There is
You can
one
tell
place here
more.
in Harrodsburg that is haunted.
they don't want to take it all up.
Oh,
Well, I
Fort
mean, I'm gonna
Herod.
probably be on for another 20 minutes or so, and then I'll probably wrap up. So you guys, if you have other things
We
that you
always
want to
got another
share,
night.
Raggedy,
yeah.
you should talk about the story you told me the other day you were going down the rabbit hole of.
If you're talking about Lizzie Borden, I think I'm going
Yes.
to actually do a whole live just about Lizzie Borden, because the more that I've been looking into this, there's so much. Like if you, I know
It
everybody's probably
is.
heard of Lizzie Borden, but
There's a
as far as the
lot.
house goes, yeah, and the activity that happens in that house, and just there's so much. I
Yeah.
want to do a whole
Well,
live just
the
for that.
activity in that
Yeah, it's a
house
rabbit hole for
is
sure,
more. I'll tell you,
Stewie.
it is more than just who was in that house and what happened in that house. It is more because it's almost rampant, and they've tried to cleanse that house of some of it, but they didn't want to. But there's been Ouija boards brought in there. I don't know how many times. There's been seance. They've opened and brought in more. It's like anyone who understands, like Raggedy, you probably do. You know the feeling. You could be across the street from that house and feel it.
Yeah, I know what feeling you're talking about. I do.
Yes.
You can, when there is energy, like, and I've seen people, and I've done it myself, that will go to like thrift stores and antique stores, and they'll take their K2 meter, and they'll solely depend on their K2 meter to tell them
I
if
don't
there's
need a
energy.
K2.
No, I can literally take my
I just
hand.
pinpointed your damn doll that had. Yep. Two of
I
them.
mean, it's
Two of them.
crazy. Again, I will never
Could even
forget
worse.
the way that it felt when I opened that box that day. I'm not gonna lie, I slammed the box shut and I didn't open it again until I got home from picking my son up from school, and I knew I wasn't here alone. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it was strong. It was a very strong energy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
some
know what.
serious energy.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to her. I don't know anything. I haven't done a lot with her. Like I said,
I don't know. There's
the
something.
main ones that I've
There's
spent the
something.
most time with is the
Because I couldn't
two,
even look anymore.
Peyton and Carrie and Hillary are the three that, well, they were the first three that got. And all of my dolls came from actual paranormal investigators. I've only ever gotten them from two people. That's it. I don't just go buying them off. Like I see people buying them off of Etsy and stuff like that. I don't do that. I did meet one of them on eBay, but I actually found him on YouTube. And I used to watch his videos. And there's this girl on here that she still does lives every now and then, but not like she used to. She goes by Sue's Horror Show, and she has several
I know
haunted
who that
dolls.
is.
Yeah, and the house that I don't know if she still lives there. I'm sure she does, but the house that her and her husband had bought, was haunted by the man that had lived there prior, John. But then she had all of these haunted dolls and stuff, and some of her dolls had actually came from the first paranormal investigator that I had started purchasing from. So that's how I found him. She sent me to his YouTube, and then he sent me to his eBay link, and I just kind of checked stuff out. But now I'm not allowed to buy anymore. Which, you know, Diana's gonna send me one, and it's very old and cool looking, and I'm gonna see if I feel anything off of it. But my husband won't let me just like buy any anymore because he's terrified of them. Hey,
Well,
Heath.
if you guys are interested in the Conjuring house, it is a good rabbit hole story to go down as well. There's just with what's going on there now and the
It's
entertainment side of it.
it's a money grab.
It's crazy. It's
I
really a
feel like
crazy story.
Lizzie's house has become money grab.
Yes.
Oh,
We
for
became
sure.
that for a while. It was very money grab.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
some fake
Yeah.
Well, I
setup
stopped
things.
following the
But
Conjuring House stuff because it had become a whole lot of drama. Like nothing
Right, it
but
is.
drama. And I just, that's not why I watch stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I watch it because I want to hear and see cool stuff. And everybody
yeah.
was hiding and it was just a lot of back and forth stuff. So I haven't followed that house story.
Before all that was out on TV or even talked about or whatever, I was going and doing that stuff. And we all had interest and we went to the library and learned shit. We didn't have, it wasn't on TV. Only you'd heard about the Warrens. But other than that, we just went and did our own.
Right. I will tell y'all.
Oh, lessons were learned.
I can't believe I forgot about this. So there is this one app that I have. I have Necrophonic, but then there's another one that I've seen some paranormal investigators use called Ghost Radar Connect. And there are a couple of different versions. There's a newer version and then there's the older version. I like the older version. And basically what happens is it allows the spirits to manipulate the app to pull words, like it's words within a sound, like a word bank. It's not just words that they randomly spell out themselves. But anyway, we were driving into a cemetery one day. It was actually the cemetery that my granddaddy is buried in. And right as we were turning into the cemetery, all of a sudden the word pops up on Ghost Radar Connect and it says hot. And then right after that it says fire. Well, then we go up this hill, and as soon as we get up and over the hill, there's a big ass fire. Like,
Oh,
right,
yeah.
it was wild. Wild.
I've only used Necrophonics. I haven't heard of the other one you're talking about. Actually, text it to me because I'll forget what it's called.
I will when I get off. Yeah, there's Ghost Radar Connect and Ghost Radar Connect Lite or something like that. But the one that I'm talking about is free. One of them costs money and one of them is free.
Do y'all know who Sean Austin is on here?
I
think
I
you
don't
said
know.
this before.
He was on the Netflix show called 28 Days Haunted. He's
Oh
a
yes,
he's a
that was the
demonologist.
Warrens' nephew that did that show.
Yeah, he's really good. If you're not following him on here, he's really good. He just developed a new app. It's called SPI. It's only available on iPhone right now, but it's a endless word bank, and I think it's amazing. But I have an Android, so I can't get it yet.
What's it called?
SPI.
Let me get my iPad.
He also, the thing about it is though, I think it's $14.99 and it's a one-time charge. So you do have to pay that one-time fee to use it.
We rewired old radios into spirit boxes. That's what I use.
I wonder if this is it. Spirit Phone Innovations. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to
that's
read
it.
the innovations. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to
that's
read
it.
the reviews.
Yeah, that 28 Days Haunted was done by the Warrens' nephew. He's the one that pretty much inherit or son-in-law pretty much inherit, or son-in-law, something like that.
The
And
son-in-law.
he's the
I was gonna
one
say the
son-in-law.
son-in-law.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I think I don't know
He
if his
inherited all of
hotel.
their
Yes, he has the house and the museum
the
still.
house, and but that 28 days haunted was that was very aggravating for me. It was extremely dramatic.
Yeah, of course.
It was,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely made for TV. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, it would have never went anywhere if it wasn't. Now he does have his own network called Scare Network too, which I subscribed to for a while. That has a lot of his videos, but also he has a lot on YouTube as well.
yeah. It was a quick doll talk. This
I
baby.
like him though. I like him a lot. I like him though. I like him a lot.
It was enough with the doll.
I feel like he's more real than, he's not, he never, you always know if they say, well, if once we get 50 boxing gloves, we're going to go to the attic. Oh, well, okay. Good luck with that. Cause I'm out. Cause you're not a real paranoid. People who are for real, they don't hound you on here to send them gifts.
Right.
It's the ones that are saying, oh, and 10 more, the young boys that everybody watches, Spirit Stalkers, they have a gazillion followers, but boy, do you got a gift to get somewhere with them people. I mean, they ain't gonna even start off until they get a certain amount of likes and a certain amount of gifts. They will literally sit on the floor till they get them too.
Yeah.
So, it's bullshit.
Thank you guys for the heart memes. I checked out that app, and it's got some really good reviews. My iPad's making me do a software update before it'll let me purchase it, but I'll try it out.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I've
Right,
seen
when Stewie comes up to visit, we'll take her to the Warren house. Okay, Stewie?
Not happening. Not
Let's
happening.
get to the Mercy Brown grave.
Not happening.
Jennifer
I'll wait in
going
the
to the
car.
asylum.
I'll wait in the
Jennifer
car.
ain't going in that asylum.
I'll wait in the car.
Annabelle?
We all know that
Stewie.
Jennifer is
Stewie?
not going to
Annabelle.
make it in that asylum.
Who was talking
Stewie's gonna
about Jennifer?
babysit my dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll babysit Ringo too. Y'all can go together.
That's right, I was just talking about exchange your ticket for Raggedy. She'll come up and do all this.
Doesn't say I wouldn't come up. I
We'll be
just said I wouldn't
staying
go at this-
overnight at Lizzie's house.
I'm doing that. I told my husband.
Listen,
It's a 20
my
hour
friend lives in
drive.
Colorado. I'm like,
Thanks
if
for
I'm
doing
flying that, she was going to get married on May the 4th and everything back in 2020. Of course, I got it. But we were going to the Stanley Hotel. I want to go there.
Yeah, it's on my bucket list. My one of my bestest friends for 40 years lives not too far from there.
Thank
It's
you,
in
Dave.
Colorado.
Kitty.
Well, me and her,
Come on in.
younger, we're the one we got started on the whole. I already was into. I kind of had no choice because I didn't know what the hell. I had too many experiences and things going on. But it was with her that we used to go, and we went to Mercy Brown Grave. We'd go Cumberland Monastery. We went to Hell's Gate. We went Conjuring House. This is all back in early 90s.
Come on, Pepper. Sorry, y'all. I thought I was muted.
No, you're okay. I actually think I'm going to end.
Examples in here.
My phone is about to go dead, and my husband started a bonfire outside, so I might walk out there. I don't know. It's cold outside. So I
Go
might
get a blankie. Get girls drinkies and go sit out and cuddle.
drink. I can't drink alcohol.
Okay, well, you know
I
what?
felt weak all
Go
day.
give him the best toothless gummy by the
Okay.
fire.
Absolutely
Go
not. My child's
This
upstairs.
should be
said
turning
no.
13 tonight.
Listen, go to bed.
Listen, I don't know. I'm gonna do something. I really don't even know what I'm gonna do, to be honest. But I'm gonna probably eat something, and then I might crochet. I might scroll the TikTok streets. But I do want to do a whole live just that solely focuses on Lizzie Borden because I am very intrigued with all of that. Very intrigued.
It's a lot
Who
to
was the other one
unpack.
that said she lived close?
There's one girl that's in my comments that keeps telling me anything that I want. Like if there's any information or any pictures or anything that I want, she will get it for me. I need to reach out to her. I've got to go and look up her
Because
name.
the Massachusetts, right there in Fall River, there's a whole bunch of stuff right there. I'm only like maybe half hour.
That's not bad. Well, I want to go. I told my husband we'll have to figure it out one year. It would be fun.
You see,
But
I
I
don't know what
appreciate
the
you
laws
guys.
and the rules are now. I know like how it is with the graveyard, but like back in my day, you didn't have those laws.
Facts. I agree. Yeah,
Because of my generation, that all these things became laws and
I all are bad influences.
y'all.
All right, y'all. I'm getting tired, so I'm hoping if I eat something, I will wake up a little bit. I don't know, but I appreciate you guys coming up and
This was
sharing.
good. This was
It
fun.
was. I liked this. I loved hearing everybody's stories, but I also loved hearing other people talk about stuff like paranormal experiences and just investigating and just all these different locations because I don't really have people that share that same
And
interest as
I
I do.
think it helped Fairy realize that she's not.
She's not crazy. Well,
You're
we're all a
not
little
crazy.
crazy, but you're not that
I feel
crazy.
it.
You're not
Well,
alone.
I
Be
enjoyed
shocked how
listening to
many
some of
people
it.
do this kind of stuff that are into it that you just would never think are. Like
Yeah.
I would have never thought you were, Raggedy. I
Oh,
mean,
I
I'm
knew she was.
big. Well, I was
yeah.
telling someone in the chat, for anybody that's ever seen that Sue's horror show, then they probably have seen a doll that she has named Lisa. And Lisa claims to be a self-proclaimed demon. Lisa has dropped the ring light on the girl's head. Like it was wild. But the doll Lisa actually came from me. I got that doll from an antique shop. Let me just say that doll was not a fan of my husband. That's a whole different story I'll have to share one day. It was really weird, and it's the only time that a doll has ever
Your
scared
husband
me.
might be a sensitive.
I
I
do
don't
have
know.
a replica of Robert the doll.
You
Oh,
do?
that's the one I
Do
Yes.
looked
you
up
know that
last
my
time.
son, when he was like 5 years old, he wanted to be Robert the doll for
Oh,
Halloween?
really?
It's
Yeah,
wild.
I said,
I
where did
have
you
a
get that
replica.
from? Because I
I
watched
got it
all the
from Key
paranormal.
West. They're
Ah.
where the actual Robert the doll is at. I ordered it from their museum.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw
They have
someone
them.
go there and they got violently sick.
Yeah, there's too many.
Kalani.
I was like, you need to ask his permission. We're not doing that.
Do you know who Kalani was? Well, he's not even doing it anymore because of his wife had some really bad experiences with him. But Kalani went down there and he got violently sick after being in there with the doll.
Well,
I
there are
mean,
people
throwing
that
his
have
guts up.
gone to that
There's
Zach
this little
guy's
documentary on it.
in Vegas, and that what is her name? It's doll that people say if you look her directly in her eyes, she's caused people to have heart
It's
attacks.
Peggy. I
Yeah,
have been to
Peggy.
that museum. It's
But that's how it
Peggy.
is with Annabelle too.
Yeah,
You
it's wild.
actually have to sign a waiver, and my husband absolutely refused to go in there. He would not do it.
That's the only reason I want to go to Vegas for all the haunted places. There's the Wax Museum. I
Yeah,
wanted
Zach
to, but I don't know
Baggins
if I want to go
Museum
give
there
Zach
is
Bagans
wild.
any money. But
Yeah, I used to like to talk.
It's worth it. I'm not a fan
Michigan
of
has
Zach.
a museum of horror that it has some of Charles Manson's ashes in it.
Now, see, I would
Well,
do
that's
that.
what Zach has. Zach has
Figures.
an actual painting
listen,
that Manson did,
I had
and
a
his
thing for
ashes
Zach
were
for the
put
longest
into the
time
painting.
Yeah, I know a
until
girl that
Now
used to work
that
at
I
the
would keep.
museum.
Yeah, that's cool as shit.
I used to
he
talk
got
to
to
a
work
girl
in his
who
van.
that used to work at Zach's museum. She used to have a whole room full of haunted dolls until she separated with her husband. But anyway, okay, I'm about to eat my White Castle
All right.
berries
Okay.
that I just heated up. This was
I was
fun.
gonna turn
Hey,
my
Thank you,
We'll
Raggedy.
continue.
thank you,
Yeah, of course. I
Raggedy.
don't
I
want
enjoyed
my
listening
live
to
to
most of
end.
it.
I don't want my
To be
life to end
continued.
from the phone dying like it's about to
Okay.
die for real.
See
All
y'all.
right.
But
See you
I appreciate
later.
you guys. We'll do this again. This was fun, and I hope you guys have a great night.
You
You
too.
You
too.
too.
Have a
Bye.
good night.
Night.